Hello. There we go.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Oh.
Okay, cool. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me?
Refresh the page. I forgot to refresh the page.
I've just activated my mic on Twitch. Just want to see if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. I'm going to turn off the Discord mic though.
Yes.
Can you hear me just on Twitch now? I've turned off my Discord. Okay, cool. Perfect. I can hear you guys. There is a bit of a delay.
Okay.
Lag.
It's a bit delay.
Is there...
There's a bit of a lag now, but that's okay. That's normal for Switch.
Okay, cool. All right. So once you come over into your plugins and you activate the live link under animation, right? That's ready to go. Now what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the files that I need for Maya to activate the Maya plugin.
Wow, it's a delay as well.
So is the delay really crazy? 2, 3,
Yeah.
4. Ah, 4-second delay. Holy cow. Why? Oh my God, this is frustrating. Holy cow.
Right. Okay.
Okay, well, let's try and...
That's in Unreal somewhere.
Yes. So you go to your...
I wouldn't say... Well, actually, I don't know because I'm talking about it now, so...
Well, what you want to do is you want to go to your engine folder, right?
Yeah, there's usually a delay with this stuff, but it's not too bad because I think sometimes I can hear a little bit of myself, so...
Okay, so once you're inside the engine folder, right? Now, typically, it'll install it on your C drive, and I believe under Program Files, under Epic Games or something like that. Yeah, Epic Games. So it usually puts the engine in here, under Epic Games. But I just like to have all my game engines running on a separate partition.
Program files under Epic Games or something.
Wow, that is a big delay. Holy cow. So I'm going to go over to my games directory here.
Usually puts the engine in here under Epic.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what?
Ah.
I'm gonna hang up here,
Have all my
and I'm just gonna broadcast on Twitch, and then maybe you guys can chat. That might be...
Also, Cameron, you're echoing.
What's that? Cameron's there. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So let me I'm gonna hang up Discord now. I'm gonna hang up Discord now, and we'll try to just do this via Twitch and via the chat window. Maybe that will help. Yeah. Okay. All right. But I'm totally driving in the dark. So I'm just going to keep an eye on the text window over here. Oh my God. I got 52% drop frames though. That might be an issue. Holy cow. All right. We're going to go for it. Oh. So, inside the engine folder, right? This is all the stuff that drives your Unreal Engine, right? So, under the engine here, you'll have a plugins folder. Now, the minute you download something off the marketplace, Unreal will create a marketplace folder, right? If you don't have the marketplace folder, it means you haven't downloaded the plugin. But once you download the plugin for the marketplace, Unreal says, look, I'm going to create a folder called Marketplace and put it in here. So there we go. Inside the Marketplace folder, you can see I've got my Substance plugin and I've got my Maya Live Link plugin, right? So in here, I'm going to explain a little bit of this to you. We have two folders that concern us, binaries and source. Source is basically the source code or the C++ code that needs to be compiled. It's there for developers. It's not there for you. You want to go into the binaries folder. I'm only explaining this to you because you'll run into this with other pieces of software, other plugins, right? So I'm going to go into the binaries folder and check it out. There's my 2019 folder, right? These are the files I'm after. The MLL file, which stands for Maya Link Library, and a PY file. which means Python script. Now, Python script creates the UI for you. The MLL creates the link for you. So we need to move this guy to somewhere where Maya can find it, right? Now, you could leave it in there. You can totally leave it in there. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like keeping all of my plugins in one location. And again, I use my Google Drive because then I can load those plugins on any machine anywhere, right? So inside my plugins folder, I'll have a global folder on my Google Drive where I have my artist tools. You're downloading it now. That's cool. So in artist tools, go into plugins. And then this won't be there for you. I've made these. I've made these folders myself, right? So I'm putting all my plugins here. So I created an Unreal folder and, oh, I did not put it in there. Let's just say that's a good idea to do that. I think I went directly into Maya's plugin directory. I did. How stupid of me. So the other place you can put it is you can directly put it in Maya's plugins folder. Let's do that. So we're going here, local, program files, Autodesk, Maya 2019. Open that up. You'll have a plugins folder. This used to confuse me, guys. There are two plugins folders. They're named slightly different. You're after the one with a hyphen. Right, so go into plugins. There, we've got your plugins. I created a folder called Maya Live Link, and I put these guys in there, right? So you just literally drag and drop it in here. So you can either put it on your cloud drive or you can put it directly inside the Maya directory, right? Now, this works just as well. It just means you're going to have to do that on every machine, on every copy of Maya, right? So that's cool. I've got that. My plugin is there. Let me know if I'm getting frame drops or if the dialogue's dropping out or you're having difficulty. Just jot that down in the chat window. Okay, so I'm going to create a new Maya project so we can start fresh. Dun, dun, dun. I can't wait to wire this character up with my instance of Unreal. Anyway, so how do we install the plugin inside of Maya? Now, this is an important lesson because you will be doing this quite often. Not just with endorsed plugins like from Substance or Mari or whatever, but with custom plugins that people might put online that make your lives so much easier. So you go over to your Windows, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager. So installing a plugin is really, really easy. Unfortunately, and this used to bug me when I was younger, there's no executable that I can just click and it's there. But you get used to this after a while, right? So you can see all of the plugins are called .mlls. And these are the different directories where your plugins are, right? Now, this was built up over time. Again, in retrospect, it would be nice to have one location where all your plugins are located, right? But that's cool, right? You guys might remember the NG Skin tools and all that other stuff, right? So let's add our plugins, right? So to do that, in the plugin manager, just go down to Browse, right? And then you browse to where you put those plugins, right? So in my case, we will go to our, it's locked up a sec. We're going to go to where we downloaded those plugins, right? Come on. Ah, man. Come on. Ah, Lordy. Okay. So we're going to pop in the C drive and program files into Autodesk here under Maya 2019. Look for the plugins folder, the one with the hyphen, right? There's my Maya Live Link, right? and then you just click on the .mll, and then you click open. It'll add it to your list. Then you go back again, browse, go to your Maya link UI.py, click open, and it'll add it, right? I have already got those added in here. Where are you now? There's the Art V2 and where did I put those plugins? Go through. I'm in 2019. Oh, you know what? I thought I added it, but I added the Art V2 plugins. Okay, cool. So I'll just add these plugins here. So I'm just going to browse again. I thought I'd already pre-added those, but that's all. It's all good. Actually, knowing that those plugins are not in there, I think I'm going to do this properly. I'm going to grab my 2019 plugins. I'm going to copy these guys, and then I'm going to put them in my cloud drive so that I can keep all my plugins together, easily accessible wherever I need it. So I'm going to pop into here, and inside here, I'm going to paste those in there. Just going to check my plugin folder again, make sure it's not in there. And gear. Oh yeah, it's under the Maya Tools plugins. So bin plugins. Take a quick look here. It's called Maya Live Link plugin. No, it's not in there. I thought I saw it there for a second. Man, I'm getting old. I need to change my glasses. All right. Okay, so let's go and see if we can grab those off my W drive. Artist Tools, plugins, Maya 2019, Unreal, Maya Live Link. I'm going to grab this one. Oops. Get rid of that guy. Uh-oh. We're locked up for some reason. Come on, man. Okay. Okay. There you go. Cancel. Okay, so see, we can see the Maya Live Link plugin is loaded. Now we want to go in and we want to grab the Maya Live Link UI. Pop that in there as well. It adds itself there. And it's a good idea just to click auto load to have those guys auto load. And that's it. That's the plugin installed, right? Next thing you want to do, and this is the code bit. What you want to do is you want to come down to the Mel line down here, and you want to type this, Maya Live Link UI. Now it's case sensitive, right? So you got to remember capital M Maya, capital L Live, capital L Link, capital U and capital I, and a semicolon at the end. Now the semicolon is what's called a line delimiter. It tells any piece of software that you're working with that that's the end of the line. There's no more data, right? Now once you type that, you can execute it by hitting enter. But what I like to do is to highlight that, middle mouse button, drag it onto your tool shelf here, right? So notice I have my animation tools shelf, my custom shelf open there. So I've just dragged it up there. You'll have a default one just called custom. You might see it up there. If you don't have any custom shelf, you can make it really easily by coming over here and going new shelf, right? And then you can name it and you can create a shelf there, right? So you middle mouse button, highlight this middle mouse button, drag it up here, it'll create a button for you, right? And when you right click and edit that button, you can see that it's launching, that button is launching that command. Now I usually open this up so I can go over to the shelves. I can change the icon, I can change the label. So I've called it LiveLink UE4, right? And then I can give it a tooltip. So the tooltip, I'll show you how this works. I can just come in here and says, link Maya scene with Unreal, right? So I do that. And then when I float over, I'll get that tooltip show up. It's not showing up. It's being stingy today. So then, after that, all you got to do is click on it. It'll open up your LiveLink window, this guy here. Right? So there's no connection yet because we need to go into Unreal. So let's leave this guy over here. That's for Maya. I'm going to pop open Unreal on the other side here. And we just need to go to Window LiveLink, right? And then you click on LiveLink and you'll get the LiveLink manager here, right? And then you go to source and you add message bus source. One second, it's not auto detecting my live link. So open the live link. So I've got this guy running. So it's open the port. It's waiting for a connection. And let's try this again. So I'm going to pop this off and I'm going to click that. Oh, there we go. Actually, it was off. Yeah, when I clicked on it, I must have turned it off. No, it's not. No, come on. Live Link Streaming Manager tab. It's open here. It's waiting for a connection. There it is. No presets. Oh. Okay, let me see if I can launch this guy again. So what this does when you launch it, should reach over to Unreal and let Unreal know that there's a channel that's now open. And then we should see Maya appear here. Okay, let's see. We're in 2019.2. Our plugins are... Just going to check real quick to make sure that we're not just looking at the UI. No, the full plugin has run. Those of you guys following along, are you getting a connection? That's good, and that's good. We should live link. There should be a handshake. We're going to restart Unreal Engine for now. Can you guys still hear me, by the way? Ooh, 32% frame drops over the last 2 minutes. Here's hoping you guys can still hear me. I think I better double check. Make sure that you guys can. I'm gonna open up the live link test again. Yeah, okay, cool. As is typically the case, I've done this twice now this week. Once with a simple skin cylinder, another with a third-person character, and then, yeah, as luck would have it, the day I want to show you guys, it's not happening. Okay, let's try a little restart of Maya. It could be, because the live link is looking for... I'm going to try a restart of Maya. See if I can get these guys connecting. So while this is running, I'll explain to you the theory behind it, right? So every piece of software has what's known as a port, right? And a port is kind of like a Wi-Fi signal or a radio frequency rather, right? So that radio frequency is just reserved for communications with another piece of software. So what you're doing when you use the Maya Live link is you're opening up that port, and then Unreal is listening on that port or on that radio frequency, and when it hears Maya, it'll say, okay, connection established. That's basically what's happening, right? And then you can start sending data through. Now, the data that goes from Maya to Unreal is just transform data, so it's just moves, scales, rotates. Well, no scales, really. And so it goes lightning fast, and the response time is pretty much immediate. I'm gonna kill this. Now, it's curious to me because it seems to unlink every single time. So I also want to investigate my plugins folder a little bit and see what's going on here. So we got the animation folder. Live link is enabled. That's fine. It keeps unclicking or deactivating, which is kind of interesting. Okay, let's fire this guy up. Now all we want to do is open up a connection. All right, I'm going to double click on the live link. The one big thing that's massively frustrating for me is the pre-flight check that Maya goes through. I mean, it's just crazy. But there's a lot of stuff going on, whether it's loading plugins or, you know, creating reference connections to other things. It just takes forever. And I honestly don't get this with Houdini. So I don't know what the Houdini guys do that's different. But there we go. Saw a bit of movement. Saw a bit of life. Can't click on anything. Okay. Okay. Let's try. I'm just waiting for this to settle down a little bit. It's still working out something. I don't know what. Okay. Okie doke. Let's see if this works. So I've double clicked a live link shelf icon that I just created. Now it should open up the live link UI for Maya. Oh, let's double check that the plugin is activated. Windows, settings, preferences, plugin manager. Okay, so this could be our problem. Ew. 2019 bin plugins. You know what? Let me just try and browse to the plugin folder inside of Maya. It's kind of interesting because I had this set up on my downstairs computer, looking for plugins on Google Drive. No issues there at all. But today I'm having issues with this. So I'm actually going to go to my computer here. Maybe it's you guys. I never have issues with the new level 4s. Maybe you guys are cursed. In fact, I think that's what it is. All right. So I'm going to pop into my plugins folder, and I'm going to grab the Maya live link from here instead. And it should load in on the bottom, auto load it. I'm going to browse, and we'll grab that one and auto load it. Close. Let's open this guy up. So connection is open. Let's go over to the live link window, and no message, bus, source. I am in the correct version of Unreal. And you know what? I'm just going to, let's come in and create a cube first. Could be we need an object to initiate the handshake. Yeah, okay. There it is. We have a link. I'll tell you what I did there. You shouldn't have to do this. But what I was doing was I created just a simple cube and said add that cube to the live link. And what ends up happening is now Maya is streaming data, actual data. So I think because it had something to stream, it suddenly woke up the plugin, right? So the plugin wakes up and says, yep, I can see, oh, it's gone again. Okay, so I'm having issues with this today. Let's try streaming that full hierarchy. Let's grab it quick. Oh. Right? So now it sees our cube. We have a connection. Maya's connected to Unreal. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. Right? So it should hopefully connect a little bit smoother for you guys. Right? Okay. So I'm going to come over into, where do we want to go? We want to go into content, mannequin animations. And let's grab one of these guys, right? Inside, let me pop this guy up in here. Okay. So once we get up in here, what we need to do is just wondering if I should export this out first. So switch over to your preview window, and in here we can have live link preview controller, right? So just switch that on. Let's go out to, where's my, there we go. And let's also export this asset out, right? So I'm going to export out the preview mesh. And I'm going to export this out as an FBX, and I'll put that, yeah, live link test. I'm going to create a folder outside that called assets. And we'll pop that in there. Quick little export. Go into Maya. I'll go File, Import. And we'll import that preview mesh. Where'd I put it? Frustrating. Okay, and so in here, under users, I'm just going to where I have my lecture projects. In my documents folder and projects, assets, and we'll grab the third person run preview mesh. While we're waiting for that guy to load up, we'll go back to our example map, and we'll go back to our content, third-person blueprints, and into blueprints. Because we're just going to add a couple of things to our guy here. Pop back here, and oh yeah, right. Just going to check here. We're still connected. I'm going to grab that root, hit F. Oh, the geometry didn't come out with me. Well, I'm going to just try to establish the connection anyway here. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to look for that third-person character blueprint. Where are you here? There. And under here, I'm going to live. Is it all one word? Live link. Third person character, and we want to find. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we don't want. Just having a quick look. There was an issue with the live link skeletal controller, I think. Let's see here. So just having a quick double check. I think. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to go with the live link skeletal animation controller because we're trying to work on the animation guy. Right? So it's added there, and then next thing we need to do is, I believe, get into the third person character blueprint. Oh. Actually, would it be better to? Yeah, let's actually back out of that one. Pop back in here. Let's go to our mannequin animations. And I'm going to open up this third-person anim blueprint. That's right. And we want the double click on the anim graph. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is what we after. So from the animation for our mannequins, pop this open and get into the anim graph, right? So what's happening is that this is it's pumping out the default pose of our character and outputting the sort of state data and outputting it to the pose of our character right now. So we're going to interrupt this code flow with our live link, right? So I'm going to grab this here and pull out a connection, and we're going to look for the live link pose, right? Grab that. Right. And then we're going to take this guy, we're going to plug the result in here. Right? Now all we've done is we've connected up our live link connection between Maya and Unreal, and then we've gone into our mannequin and found an animation blueprint for just a relaxed standing pose here. So the third person anim blueprint. And we've opened it up, looked for the animation graph itself, because it's going to have a jump loop, jump start to jump, that kind of a thing. We want the anim graph, so we can add a few things here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, look, I want to take this. Let me double check this again. Oh, right. So we need to come over here. Now, it's not finding my character because I need to grab the root. I'm going to go to the outliner, grab the root of the character, and I'm going to add that selection, right? So inside my Maya Live Link UI, I've added a cube and the root of my character over. When we come over here, we can see the root is added here. And I'm going to go back to my anim BP. So I've got the state machine pumping into the live link pose. So what that's going to do is every frame, it's going to grab the pose and send it to the output pose and change the character. So where is it going to grab the pose? It's going to grab the pose from Maya and it's going to use that root character to do so, right? And then when I do that, all I need to do is save this puppy, compile it, and there we go, right? So now we have a scenario where, let's see if I can do this. We have a scenario inside of Unreal where I can come into Maya, right, and then just move the character, and I'm controlling the character inside of Unreal. Whoops, I'll grab the twist joint there. Now, here's the thing. We're just sending skeletal data over to there, right? But if we want to, we can create controllers for our character, right? So I can, very easily, let's go in and create a NURBS primitive circle, right? And I might scale this guy out and V-snap that to there. Maybe rotate it so it makes a little bit more sense. I'm just going to do this quick. I'm going to grab this guy and, or actually this guy and this guy is it. And then we'll go to rigging, constraint, and orient constraint. Nope, the other way. So we want to grab this one, then we want to grab that one, and then constraint, orient constraint, right? Forgot to have maintain offset turned on, but that's okay, right? So now we can create our own sort of rigs, puppeteering rigs, and you can see that there's very little latency in the response time. Now, one of the things that I really kind of like about this is that you can animate your character in situ, right? So you can see it inside the engine, fully kind of real-time rendered, and et cetera, et cetera. So it makes kind of working with the character a little bit easier, right? So the reason I went to the trouble to kind of show you this sort of connection is to get you guys to kind of experiment with it. Yeah, it's going to make life so much easier. Absolutely. Why do you think I'm struggling through this? Even running into all of these different issues, right? Because it's worth it. Once you get it set up, it's so much fun to animate. So what I'll do is I'll take the screenshots of my process here and I'll post them up on Discord, right? So you guys have a little bit of a guide for that kind of a thing. Now, when you guys get that working, I will see you Monday where I've taken another character, one that I'm putting together for my own previs work, and I will show you how to now connect up your character in a separate blueprint so you can actually drag and drop them into an environment. But before we get there, I want you to practice kind of connecting up the Maya Live link. If you run into a problem, feel free to Discord me because I understand what's happening in the background. But once you can get a character working in an animation preview window like this, we'll get that character into your level. The ultimate end goal is for you guys to have a character that you can move around inside of Tom's set. And then now you're in business, right? So you guys are working on your animations at the same time that Tom is working on his environment, right? So yeah, this whole session right now is recorded on Twitch. So even my fumbling around and trying to figure it out so you guys can, I'm going to watch this back as well to see what the hiccup was. Because naturally, when Maya opens a channel, Unreal should have picked it up. There's no reason why I should have created a cube to send data over to to Unreal. Unreal should have just found that open channel. But, I could have other things open on my PC that was interfering with that handshake, right? But other than that, I think that was the big issue we ran into. Once that connection was made, connecting up the blueprint was relatively easy. I got lost there for a little sec because I was inside the third-person blueprint, and I thought it was the master third-person character blueprint we needed to to do, but we don't need the third person character blueprint yet. That'll be next week. So what you can do, you can build it onto this third person blueprint, absolutely. But the first protocol is to go into the mannequin and into the animations and see if you can attach it to an animated character, right? And then that's what we did. We took an animation. I could have just as easily taken one of these, but you know, it's a lot nicer to just start off with a static-ish pose. And inside the third person anim blueprint, the other little hiccup we ran into is we don't want the event graph or the jump start to, right? Or the jump loop to, we wanted the anim graph. Now the anim graph doesn't pop up automatically, right? So you have to go in here and say, look, I want to find the animation graph and I want to add to it. The anim graph is the graph that sends the state of your character to the Unreal Engine character. So whatever the state of the character is in will affect the pose of the character in the engine, right? So we interrupted that signal with our live link. And we said, look, before you send your state over to the pose of this character, grab the information from Maya first, then send it over. So that's literally what we're doing, right? Now, it takes a little bit of setting up. When Live Link first came out, there was actually a lot more involved in setting it up, right? So the one thing that made me want to explore this again is the fact that they've contained the 3 nodes that I used to have to connect up in one. Beautiful. So all I have to do is drop that node in. The other hiccup too was when I dropped down to select what I wanted to connect, the root of the skeleton wasn't there. So what I had to do was go back to Maya and say, look, you're just streaming the cube over to Unreal. I need you to also stream my character over. So I selected the character root, and you only have to select the root because it'll sense the rest of the hierarchy. Would it then be possible to switch out Unreal's character model into a model we make? Yes, absolutely. Because the only data, check this out, the only data being sent over right now are the names of these joints. That's it. Unreal doesn't care what the model looks like. All it cares is where is the pelvis? Where is the spine? Right? So as long as the skeleton is named properly for the Unreal Engine naming convention, that's the only data being sent over. So when I said, look, grab the root of the character and send everything underneath it over to Unreal, now it's transmitting, right? So Unreal goes, okay, here's the state of the character that I'm going to push out to this 3D geometry. And we're saying, hey, before you do that, grab this off Maya, which is the root and all the joints underneath the root, and send that instead. So that sends over, and bingo. We're sending signals now from our character into Unreal. Ellie, I knew you'd like that one, because I love it. You know, just the minute I can animate in one window and see the result playing out in the other, fantastic. And the control rig is coming. It's in beta. The control rig takes that one step further, where, you know, the HIK control rig that I showed you guys, you can just build it inside of Unreal and then just start moving the character in Unreal. So we'll get there. We'll get there where we can just directly animate inside the Unreal Engine, right? Okay, so I kind of wanted to get a little bit further with you guys on this, but I'm glad I just was able to show you that much, right? Tom, I would recommend you go through and take a look at this process as well, right? Because when you're prototyping stuff and you just have the mannequin, it might help you to be able to just move your mannequin character around inside your Unreal level. Now, what I'll probably do at some point this weekend, maybe, is I won't have time this weekend. But I see you guys on Monday anyway. Monday morning, I'm going to continue this because I want to connect at one of my characters, right? So that will be streamed. I find that first thing in the morning, my streams are crystal clear and there's no frame drops. So Monday morning, expect me to go through this again, except a little bit more in depth. And hopefully I won't have so much stuff running and I won't run into all these little hiccups. Oh, we're joined by Tyrone. Pop in here and see what I'm getting myself into. Yeah, no problem, Tyrone, right? So again, we did have a few technical hiccups, but go back and review this Twitch stream and you'll see what happened and maybe learn from it. So, okay, cool. That's it for me. I'm going to flip back over to Discord to say goodbye. Bid you guys a fond farewell. And then